This is a new version of official mock test. This is a new version of official mock test. This is a new version of official mock test. Please click next to proceed to the next section, okay? Your subject outlines are a good place to go to find information about physics. Your subject outlines are a good place to go to find information about which textbooks to buy. Your subject outlines are a good place to go to find information. Your subject outlines are a good place to go to find information. Okay. Your subject outlines are a good place to go to find information about which textbooks to buy. Yet this landscape, which appears so alien and confronting to the white settlers and explorers. Yet this landscape, which appears so alien and confronting to the white settlers and explorers. Yet this landscape, which appears so alien and confronting to the white settlers and explorers. To the white settlers and explorers. Yet this landscape, which appears so alien and confronting to the white settlers and explorers. The terms voice and text are multifaceted. Voice and text are multifaceted. Both have a wide range of possible meanings in everyday space and academic uses. Okay. The terms voice and text are multifaceted. The terms voice and text are multifaceted. Both have a wide range of possible meanings in everyday space and academic uses. Okay. The terms voice and text are multifaceted. The terms voice and text are multifaceted. Both have a wide range of possible meanings in everyday space and academic uses. With a population of only just over 30 million living in the world's second largest country. With a population of only just over 30 million living in the world's second largest country. Just over 30 million living in the world's second largest country. With a population of only just over 30 million living in the world's second largest country. With a population of only just over 30. With a population of only just over 30 million living in the world's second largest country. Since its inception, the United Nations system has been working to ensure adequate food. Okay. Since its inception, the United Nations system has been working to ensure adequate food. Since its inception, the United Nations system has been working to ensure adequate food. Since its inception, the United Nations system has been working to ensure adequate food. Okay. Since its inception, the United Nations system has been working to ensure adequate food. In the past, wars have led to inflation and higher commodity prices. Fighting disaster. In the past, wars have led to inflation and higher commodity prices. In the past, wars have led to inflation and higher commodity prices. In the past, okay. In the past, wars have led to inflation and higher commodity prices.
Modern business has to adapt and be flexible in order to survive.
Modern business has to be flexible in order to survive.
Applicants for the course should preferably have a degree in English or journalism.
Applicants for the course should have a degree in English and journalism.
What's going on that can help patients leave their fears at the door?
What's going on? Patients leave their fears on the door.
After 1830, periodicals appeared in large numbers in America.
After 1830, appeared in large number in America.
The computer crashed and I hadn't saved my work.
My computer crashed and I hadn't saved my work.
His academic supervisor called in to see him last night.
His academic supervisor called him to see him last night.
You should inquire about direct deposit.
You should inquire about direct deposit.
Just wait a minute, I'll be with you shortly.
Just wait a minute, I'll be with you shortly.
You must include your name and identity number on the registration form.
You must include your name and identity number on the registration form.
The graph shows the percentage of people who smoke according to gender.
The graph shows the percentage of people according to their gender. Okay, it's table. The table shows teaching as a career. The highest one is teachers who find teaching a satisfying career. The lowest one is final year students planning teaching career. The middle one in conclusion. Okay. The table shows teaching as a career. The highest one is teachers who find teaching a satisfying career, which is 95%, and the lowest one is final year students planning teaching career, which is 1%, and the medium one is recently graduated student now teaching, which is 7%. In conclusion, it's an overall scenario of teaching as a career. Graph shows education pace, unemployment rate in 2007. The highest one is associated degree, the lowest doctoral degree 4%. Okay, median weekly earning. Median weekly earning in 2007. The highest one is doctoral degree. Okay. The graph shows education pace. In unemployment rate in 2007, the highest one is associated degree, which is 3.0%, and the lowest one is doctoral degree, which is 1.4%, and the medium one is bachelor's degree, which is 2.2%. In median weekly earning in 2007, the highest one is doctoral degree, which is $1,497, and the lowest one is associated degree, which is $740, and the medium one is bachelor's degree, which is $987. In conclusion, it's an overall scenario of education pace. Okay, the medium is cost of entry. Lack of time. The graph shows barrier to visiting museum or art galleries. The highest one is lack of time, which is around 55%, and the lowest one is lack of information about event, which is 5%, and the medium one is cost of entry, which is around 10%. In conclusion, it's an overall scenario of barriers to visiting museums or art galleries. Picture shows the Switzerland language. The most popular language is German. Second popular The picture shows Switzerland languages. The most popular language which is used in Switzerland is German, and the second most popular is French, and the third popular one is Italian, and the least popular language is Romansh. In conclusion, it's an overall scenario of Switzerland languages. Okay, volunteer rate, age graph, volunteer rate, the male, female, the highest female, the highest male is percentage of male is the lowest percentage of male is 25%. Between the age group 35. Okay. The graph shows volunteer rate is the highest percentage of male is 35% between the age group of 45 to 54, and the lowest percentage of male is 25% between the age group of 75 to 84, and the highest percentage of female is 45% between the age group of 35 to 44, and the lowest percentage of female is 10% between the age group of 85 years and over. In conclusion, it's an overall scenario of volunteer rate age. Okay.
To begin with, how underfunded is UK higher education? The table shows the proportion of gross domestic product spent on institutions by the main OECD countries for the latest year, for which we have statistics, 2001. It shows that UK spending, public and private, on higher education institutions was at 1.08%, well below the OECD mean of 1.34% of GDP. The table clearly shows that the UK is in the bottom 5 countries of the 20 in the table in terms of public expenditure on tertiary education, its spending being proportionately equal to that of Italy and Mexico. At the other end of the table, we see that Denmark and Finland allocate most public money to tertiary education, spending twice as high a proportion of GDP on it as does the UK.
The talk focused on underfunding UK higher education. The first important idea was domestic products. The second important thing was UK spending 1.08% for higher education. The third key concept was UK is in the bottom of 5 countries. And the speaker finished by Denmark and Finland spend public money for education.
So let me begin with the notion of a dimension. The dimension is simply how many numbers that you need to specify a location. So if we think about the surface of the Earth, the equator is one-dimensional. You need to specify only one number to specify a location on the equator, namely the longitude. The surface of the Earth altogether is, of course, two-dimensional. You need to specify 2 numbers, the latitude and longitude, to specify a location on the Earth. The space above the Earth is 3-dimensional. If I want to tell you the location of a hang glider, I need to give you the latitude, longitude, and altitude. But mathematically, there's no reason to stop at 3 dimensions. A 4-dimensional space is simply a space in which you need to specify 4 numbers to specify a location in that space. A 5-dimensional space would be one in which you need to specify 5 numbers, etc. In fact, I claim you already know an example of a 4-dimensional space. So let's define an event just to be an occurrence that happens in a small region of space at a definite time. In other words, an event is like a snap of your fingers or a clap of your hands. And now the collection of all events, if I want to specify an event, I need to give you 4 numbers. I need to tell you where it happens in space and when it happens in time.
The talk focused on dimension, which is how many numbers is needed. The first important idea was specify only one number. The second important thing was surface of the earth is two-dimensional. The third key concept was specify a location on the earth. The fourth major point was fourth dimensional space is 4 number, and the speaker finished by specify an event.
The terms circumference, diameter, and radius refer most commonly to which geometric shape?
Circles.
Who prepares and sells medicine in a shop or hospital?
Pharmacist.
Where on a college campus would a periodicals collection be located?
Classroom.
What part of a guitar do you strum with your fingers?
Strings.
What official document protects the creator's rights to his or her invention?
Copyright.
A group of 3 students are discussing ideas about how to make their campus more environmentally friendly.
So I've been thinking a lot about the environment lately, and that we should be looking at how to make the campus greener. We've got recycling bins for cardboard and cans, but that's only scratching the surface, and we could be a lot more proactive. I've heard that ink and printer cartridges can nearly always be recycled, so that could be one starting point.
Yeah, and don't forget batteries too. All the raw materials can be extracted from them for the manufacturers to reuse. So you're conserving energy, reducing pollution, and helping the economy. You know, that's another thing we could be doing. But what can we do to encourage students to actually try and recycle more? It'd be good if we could offer some incentive.
What if we asked the university to do a competition to get students to design some kind of artwork promoting recycling? I reckon people would be up for that. But, what would the winners get? I think we need to draw people in somehow, create a buzz and get them talking about it, and then actually doing the recycling.
Maybe the winner's artwork could be displayed on the university website homepage and in the main building foyer. And then, in practical terms, we'd also need more allocated drop-off points for recyclable items. I mean, at the moment, there aren't very many places for people to recycle stuff, so it just goes into the regular garbage.
Yeah, great idea about displaying the artwork in a place everyone can see it. And maybe for the first couple of weeks after the new recycling points have been introduced, we can get a group of volunteers in those fluorescent yellow high-visibility jackets to hand out flyers, or just let people know about them.
Yes. Well, we need it to become a habit so that the next time a student has some cardboard or paper to recycle, they remember to take their used ink cartridges or batteries with them too.
And we can pass the info about the competition and the recycling points to those 2 final year students who do that really popular weekly podcast for the campus. We could also ask them to build in a regular time slot to talk more about the environment and being greener on the campus, to keep the dialogue going. We don't want to lose momentum. There's always the danger that we have a couple of months of change and then we all go back to how we were before.
Oh yes, that's a good idea. They're great, those 2 podcasters. I know loads of people who listen to them. There'll also be others who listen to their podcasts who can offer good ideas about other steps we can take. So that should hopefully help maximize our chances of reaching as many students as possible.
Three speakers were talking about how to make campus environmentally friendly. The first speaker highlighted that make campus greener. Moreover, she pointed out that they could be more proactive. The first talker also discussed that use recycle bins for cardboard. Furthermore, she indicated that display artwork on its website. And this individual also said that use regular garbage. The second speaker highlighted that raw materials that can be extracted. Moreover, he pointed out that reducing pollution and helping economy. And the second talker also discussed that encourage students to try recycle. Furthermore, he indicated that get group of volunteer. And this individual also said that he know people who listen podcast. The third speaker highlighted that design and artwork. Moreover, she pointed out that create buzz and talk about it. The third talker also discussed that students do weekly podcast. Furthermore, she indicated that talk more about environment. And this individual also said that they have couple of months.
A group of 3 students are discussing their university accommodations.
Have you sorted out your university accommodation yet? I heard that you're going to stay in the university hall this year. What made you go for that?
Well, first I like the fact that it's all inclusive and I don't have to worry about anything. Bills, cleaning, or dealing with landlords and all the problems that comes with renting. Also, sharing a flat with other students is loads of fun.
Maybe, but you know that it's really the luck of the draw who you end up living with. Sorry to disappoint you, but there's no guarantee you'll live with any of your friends even if you book together as a group and request to stay together. Don't you mind that you have no control whatsoever over who you're going to share your accommodation with?
I don't mind being placed with people I've never met before. In fact, in a way, I actually kind of like it. I love getting to know new people, widening the circle of my friends. That's one of the benefits of living on the university campus, isn't it?
Well, if you say so, but that's definitely not for me. I don't like being thrown in the deep end and not having any control over the people I'll be living with. Plus, having to put up with their mess and noise on a daily basis? Ugh! I had enough of that last year. So I'm going to rent a flat with one of my mates.
That's a bold move. Are you sure about that? Have you thought about all the bills you'll have to pay? And also, maintaining the property is going to be your responsibility. You'll have to do all the cleaning, too. I think campus accommodation is the best. I want to hang out with people and go to lots of events, and living on campus is going to make it easier.
I've decided to go for a shared flat. I prefer living with people who have the same habits. You know, I come from a quiet home, and the idea of having loads of people around constantly is kind of irritating. I might do it next year, but not now. I don't mind managing the bills because I like the independence and flexibility I get in return.
So you guys are giving up living very close to university, and you're prepared to pay more to be on your own. Plus, there's the cost of public transport.
Sure, but with my own place, I get a bit more space. I don't really fancy having a tiny room feeling cramped. True, I might have to go a bit further away from campus to get a cheaper rent, but I don't mind that at all. I'm planning to buy a cheap bike and cycle to class, so I'll get my daily dose of exercise.
Three speakers were talking about university accommodation. The first speaker highlighted that sorted out university accommodation. Moreover, she pointed out that stay at university hall. The first talker also discussed that don't like people's smells and noise. Furthermore, she indicated that set her own space. And this individual also said that rent a flat with mate. She also brought up that planning to buy cheap bike and staying away from campus. The second speaker highlighted that don't have to worry about bills and cleaning. Moreover, he pointed out that sharing flat is fun. The second talker also discussed that don't mind to live with new people. Furthermore, he indicated that benefits of living on campus. And this individual also said that campus accommodation is the best. He also brought up that pupil transport cost. The third speaker highlighted that no guarantee you live with your friend. Moreover, he pointed out that prefer shared flat. The third talker also discussed that he came from quiet home. Furthermore, he indicated that he likes independence and flexibility.
One of your friends from school is going away to start university next week. She's excited, but sad to say goodbye. Some of you are discussing ideas for a present to give her for her new apartment. What would you suggest to them?
Hi, how's everything? I am here to discuss about one of our friend from school is going away, and we need to discuss about a present to give her for her new apartment. How about we give her a wonderful painting? Please take this into consideration and assist me in finding a solution. I appreciate your time and your support. Don't hesitate to get in touch with me.
You have decided that you don't want to take the course in mechanical engineering. Your friend has dropped a course recently. You want your friend to tell you the correct procedure to follow and when the deadline is for getting a tuition refund. What do you say?
Hi, how's everything? I have decided that I don't want to take the course in mechanical engineering. You dropped a course recently, so please tell me the procedure to follow so that I can get tuition refund. Please take this into consideration and assist me in finding a solution. I appreciate your time and your support. Don't hesitate to get in touch with me.
It seems to me that architecture is very much something that causes us both pleasure and trouble. I live in a part of West London where I feel that many of the streets where I live
সো ফাইনালি আমাদের রেজাল্ট চলে এসেছে। সো দেখা যাক রেজাল্ট কি আসছে। একটু রেজাল্টে যাব। ওকে, সো আমরা এখানে দেখতে পাচ্ছি যে আমাদের স্পিকিংয়ে 90 আউট অফ 90 এসছে এবং সেখান থেকে লিসেনিংয়ে মার্কস কন্ট্রিবিউট হয়েছে। আমরা শুধুমাত্র স্পিকিংটা এক্সপেরিমেন্ট করেছি এবং সেখান থেকে অনলি লিসেনিংয়ের মার্কসটা কন্ট্রিবিউট হয়েছে। রিডিং এবং রাইটিংয়ের কোনো টপিকস আমরা করি নাই। সো আমরা আসলে দেখতে চাচ্ছিলাম যে স্পিকিংয়ে শুধুমাত্র আমাদের টেমপ্লেটটা ইউজ করে কতটুকু মার্কস এই নতুন চেঞ্জের পরে আসে সেটা আমরা আসলে একটু এক্সপেরিমেন্ট করতে চাচ্ছিলাম। এখানে নতুন যে দুটো টপিকস অ্যাড হয়েছে আমরা জানি, রেসপন্ড টু আ সিচুয়েশন অ্যান্ড গ্রুপ ডিসকাশন। এখানে আমরা আমাদের নিজস্ব টেমপ্লেট ইউজ করেছি এবং আপনারা দেখতে পাচ্ছেন যে আমরা স্পিকিংয়ে 90 আউট অফ 90 এসছে সেই টেমপ্লেটটা ইউজ করে। শুধু টেমপ্লেট ইউজ না, আপনাদেরকে এটার সাথে সাথে আপনাদের স্ট্রেস, চাঙ্কিং, রিদম এই প্রসেসটা আপনাদেরকে ফলো করতে হবে। সো ওভারঅল সব কিছু নিয়ে এটাই ছিল আমাদের স্পিকিংয়ের এই টেস্টটা। 1-to-1 ক্লাসের জন্য আমাদের ডিসক্রিপশনে যে নাম্বারটা রয়েছে আপনি তার মাধ্যমে আমাদের সাথে যোগাযোগ করতে পারেন। সামনে আমি প্রত্যেকটা টপিকস নিয়ে একটা ডিটেলসে ভিডিও বানানোর চেষ্টা করব পার্ট বাই পার্ট, যেটার মাধ্যমে আমি আপনাদেরকে দেখাবো আমি কোন কোন স্ট্রাকচার ইউজ করেছি, আমি কিভাবে আমার নোট টেকিংটা নিয়েছি। সো ভালো লাগলে আমাদের সাথে থাকবেন এবং আমাদেরকে সাবস্ক্রাইব করে আমাদেরকে সাপোর্ট করবেন। থ্যাংক ইউ।